following program is an original PAT production. You're now watching Channel 10.
Museum, and this is an annual event, and it's great fun for us as well as it will be for you today. So I'd like to get going by introducing our curator, Mary Kirkpatrick, and carry on with the show. And we hope you enjoy yourself. Mary?
Good morning, and welcome to the George Peabody House Museum's third grade essay contest award ceremony. It's really long. This year marks the 20th anniversary of not only the George Peabody House Museum, but also the third grade program. And I'd like to thank the docents and teachers who participated in the program. And we also indebted gratitude to North Shore Bank for their sponsorship of the program for the last 20 years. And also to the judges of the essay contest, Mary Lou Silva, Camille Bartlett, Georgia Metropolis, and Vera Burke. I would also like to congratulate this year's winners. All of your essays. And let's see, I know Mayor Bonfanti has always been an advocate for preserving the history of the city of Peabody. And I think he is just as proud of this year's participants as I am. So with that, I'd like to introduce the mayor.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
And first and foremost, I would like to thank the winners, the students. I'm going to ask you, by the way, to read your essay later on and maybe even say a couple of words about yourself. And so don't be nervous about that. And let me tell you, every time I stand up in front of a group, I get a little antsy myself. So with that being said, I also want to thank the teachers and the principals. Because as always, they're the ones that impart the knowledge that is necessary so you can do these little programs in the writing. I always talk a little bit about George Peabody and who was George Peabody. And one of the things I do ask is, one of the things that I admire very much about this man was something that he did that a lot of people forget to do. And he was the first real American philanthropist. And did you know what a philanthropist is? Huh? What's a philanthropist?
Someone that helps the world build things.
Very good, very good. Someone who helps. That's the key word. And today in the United States, we're having a little bit of problems with our economy. And what we need are people who understand when times are bad that everybody should be helping the other person. And he was the first one who did that. And what I admire about him very, very much was that he grew up with absolutely nothing. He had to go out and earn his money, but he did something that a lot of people forget, as I said. Sometimes when you do very well in life, you have a responsibility to help the other person. And today we talk about the economy. We talk about something called the stimulus. And I was thinking about George Peabody. And when you look at his life, he did what the government is trying to do today. You go back and you realize when he was in Baltimore, and then he went to England, the state of Baltimore was bankrupt. And he raised money to bail them out. During that was by about 1837, 1847, several states were bankrupt. And who do you think helped raise the money to keep it going? A guy by the name of George Peabody. And he set up what they call the House of Morgan. It wasn't J.P. Morgan. He didn't even like J.P. Morgan. but he kept them on. And J.P. Morgan later on helped bail out the economy back in the early parts of the country. So he understood that. And you know, he didn't have any education, but he understood the value of education. And he was one of the big contributors to education, something that we need to do today if we're going to compete in the global economy. But he also was ahead of his time in another way. The working man. In England, when he was in England, he saw the plight of the working man there. And he built 50,000 units of housing ahead of his time, understanding that what people need is education, and what people need is good housing. So we can take a lesson from George Peabody, the namesake of our community. So we should be very, very proud to realize that when times were tough, we had somebody who stepped up, understood the real core values that we need to stand for, and helped out. And again, if we are going to get through this period of time, we need to step up. So it's a great lesson in that word philanthropy. You know, for us to survive, we need to help, and we need to ask for less. And he taught us how to do